how they're going to address this killing that is going on in Chicago and in America itself. And the problem with that is we to combat what the people are doing or the killing that's going on, we're using the wrong weapons. To fight against crime and against injustice is not to be injustice in fighting against injustice. Because injustice to any person or anyone is injustice to everyone. And I was just trying to ponder on what are they trying to do, because there's nothing they can do because they're using the wrong weapons to fight the injustice and to fight the crime. I was listening and reading the scriptures how that when Moses felt he was in justice, he took it to the Lord. And see, when you take it to something supreme, then you can get a better answer than taking it upon yourself. And see, when David felt he was in justice, he wanted to kill, I believe it was Nabal, because Nabal wouldn't give him something to eat. And he wanted to use his own hands to crush Nabal and to destroy his family. But Nabal's wife interceded to combat what David was trying to do, because David just not going down there to kill Nabal. He was going down there to kill every male or everybody that was in his lineage. And you know, when you're rich, you got a lot of people. And he had a lot of people that he had servants and different ones that would serve him. And she went down there before David got there to intercede and to tell David, I'm sorry about what he did. And she tried to give him something to make restitution. And that's what was going on, is that you got to use the weapon that's going to work, because to combat injustice is not to kill innocent people or not to kill the people at large because you feel that they deserve it. And you think that young people are get out of hand. And so what you do, like one young man, they said that he ran from the police. The police couldn't catch him, so the police took the gun out and he fired at him 3, 4 times, and he killed the young man. The man was about 50, maybe 51, and he killed him. And now, as injustice on top of injustice, whatever the young man may did, it may have been wrong, but it didn't make the police right by shooting him in the back. So the people at large is going to scream at it. And then it just go on. It don't stop, because the people are hollering and screaming now because they're looking for injustice. What we going to do? But we're using the wrong weapons to fight the injustice. And now even the mayor of Chicago is raising taxes on everything, on the water, on the garbage. And they're taxing the poor man out of Chicago. I don't want to say he's taxing the black people, because I don't want to target saying that he's being racist. But it seems like they're the only ones being affected by these taxes that he's steady raising. And they're using the wrong weapons. And so it goes on and on, because we think the weapons that we use is okay. And it's justifiable because we're doing our job. But yet now you got the screen, and you got the public at large making a noise. You got the women saying that now we got this president in, and this president is saying that he's going to reverse everything that's already been done. He wants to reverse the Obamacare. He wants to reverse the women able to get abortion. He wants to reverse the abortion rights. So now the abortionists or the people out there is making the noise. because they feel the injustice. And when you are doing wrong, and then somebody wrong you, then you feel injustice. But when you are in charge, you can't do injustice because you think they deserve it. You got to take it to the law. You are police. So what you got to do, you got to take it to the judge and let the judge the matter. But when you take it upon your hand, then the people at large, they want to kill the police. Now there's a rage against the police all over the land. Why? Because they are killing innocent people. They may not be innocent in what they did, but they definitely didn't deserve to get what they got. And that was injustice. And we're using the wrong weapons to fight this crime. We can't use these weapons that we've been using to fight the crime. We got to find a way to fight without destroying one another, without hating one another, without cursing and blaspheming one another. We got to figure something out that's going to make it work and help the public at large, because the weapons we're using are not working. Shooting and destroying people's lives is not working. Drive-bys are not working. Selling drugs and destroying the community is not working. And then you go and kill a young man that's doing it, and you're keeping them in jail for the rest of their life. It's not working. Too many men in jail, and it's not working. You're using the wrong weapons. You got to find out what weapon can we use to combat the situation at large. Gandhi had a great idea, because they was destroying them with the salt industry. And Gandhi said, we can't fight them like they fight us. They hurt us. They got good clubs, and they got weapons of war, and they got things against us that will hurt us. So the only way we're going to defeat them, we're going to defeat them by not fighting back. And it worked. And the years go by, and Martin Luther King said, we can't fight them with our guns because they got more guns. So what we're going to do is we're going to fight, but we're not going to hit back. Even Jesus understood that when Peter and them wanted to fight the Roman government because of Jesus. And they went and got swords to prepare for the battle. But it didn't work, because Jesus had a plan. And his plan wasn't to fight that war the way you think he should fight. With your hands, with the sword, with cursing. Because remember, Peter did curse. And he wanted to use the sword. But Jesus took that sword and said, put it down. Put up the sword. And when they cut the man to attempt to fight for Jesus, Jesus took what they cut off and put it back on the man. Because Jesus knew this is not the way I chose to fight. And we can't choose, and we can't fight the way the world fight. We can't curse it out. We can't blaspheme it out. We can't shoot people down or even mass destruction as the world's talking about. We got to figure out a weapon that's going to work and work forever. But these weapons out here are not working, because we're using the wrong weapons. David used the wrong weapons. Saul used the wrong weapon to want to destroy David. Peter used the wrong weapon when he used the sword trying to defend for Jesus. And Jesus didn't want that weapon. So you got to figure out what type of weapon can we use. And the people don't want to do what they did back then when Martin Luther King marched. Because a lot of the people that's marching, they don't understand the reason why. So therefore, they're resisting it. And so they want to go back to using the weapons of war. They want to fight. They want to rebel against the government. They want to figure a way to hurt people with their fists, with guns, with destruction. And when you use that, you're destroying yourself. So what it is, what type of weapon can we use? We got to use the same weapon that Gandhi used. We got to use the same weapon that Martin Luther King used. We got to use the same weapon that Jesus Christ used. We cannot use the weapon that the world used. And what is the weapon that God tells us not to use? In the book of 2 Corinthians, it said the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but are mighty through God, to the pullings down of strongholds, casting down imagination and every high thing against the knowledge of Christ, and bringing to captivity to the obedience of Christ. That's the weapon we got to use. Amen. We can't use the weapon that the world uses. We can't use it. It won't work. It won't work. You're destroying lives. You're destroying people's lives using the world's methods. The way the world do it, we're destroying lives. Because the world will kill, and then you left all the tragic, you left what you left behind is what you didn't do. You killed one, but now you got the family members left behind. And they're crying for justice. And they looking for justice, but it ain't no injustice. So what you gonna do? Then you keep on doing, you keep on doing. Now the public or United States or America, we are divided. Because they don't want to see injustice because they know how injustice feels. But you can't just not do nothing. You got to do something. But you can't do wrong and expect good to follow. Police can't do wrong. The mayor can't do wrong. You got all these taxes hurting the poor people. Taxes on water. And you got plenty of water over here in Lake Michigan. Taxes on garbage. Taxes on this and that until the poor man is out of the house that he's living in. Then he get foreclosed and get eviction against it because he got to move. Then you got a bunch of people on the streets. You're using the wrong weapons. You're destroying yourself because those also are weapons of mass destruction. When you ain't got nobody living in these houses and they living on the streets, you destroying a whole lot of people. And you're using the wrong weapons. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but they're mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imagination and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of Christ and bringing it to captivity to the obedience of Christ. This is what you got to use. We can't use what they use. We can't do what they do. We belong to Christ and Him crucified. To know Him, of His resurrection power, and the fellowship of His suffering. We got to understand the way Christ do it. We got to do it like Christ. We can't do it like the world. This is why we can't go out there and march against sin. Because the world don't understand. You got to live right, so right will follow. You got to walk right, so right will follow. You got to do good, so good will follow you. Even the scriptures say, goodness and mercy shall follow you all the days of your life. But if you do good, it'll follow. And if you show mercy, mercy will follow. But if you're injustice, then this is what you get. This is what America get. Because we're injustice. You're injustice to the African American people. You're injustice to their community. You won't bring no jobs in their community. Then you tax them out of their community. It's wrong. Use the wrong weapons. You're fighting against the poor. You're fighting against your own people. We may not be the same color, but we just as Americans as you are. You're fighting against your own people. You need us and we need you. We can't work this thing without you. You can't work it without us. We are both together. We are joined together. And you got to realize, America, that we got to work together in this thing. And we got to quit devouring and fighting one another and hating one another. And we got to stand up and do what's right. Let church say amen.
Amen.
You got